In today's video, I'm going to show you how to stop your slice for good. And I'm sure this is the most fun way you're ever going to do it. Make sure you check out this video. Jon Watts here from the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me in my indoor studio, and today's video, as I mentioned there in the intro, is all going to be about stopping your slice. Stopping your slice the fun way as well. I'm going to show you a great drill, a great exercise to stop that slice, and how you can perhaps take that mental picture to the golf course to actually help you when you're in a real life situation. If you're new to my channel, you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. If you hit the little bell icon, it just notifies you every time a new video goes live. Of course, hit the thumbs up, share it with as many golfers as you can also. So I've put myself here, and I could have chosen a few different courses on my simulator, but I've chosen Pebble Beach because why not? And I've only just downloaded it. So I've put myself on the 18th hole. I'll do a little flyover here so you'll see the hole also. I've put myself behind the tree that's in the middle of the fairway, and I'm going to try it with a couple of different clubs. I'm going to start with a mid-iron, and I'll perhaps then try it with a driver because I'm 288 out from the green, from the pin. But the tree's in my way. So what I'm going to try and do is get a ball flight that's going to do the opposite of my slice. For me as a right-hander, a slice would be starting left of target or even on target, big bend, and start finishing to the right. So what I'm trying to do here is picture the tree, and I'm trying to do the opposite. I'm trying to get that ball starting to the right of the target for me as a right-hander, bending to the left, obviously the opposite if you're a lefty. So I'm trying to move the ball, shape the ball around the tree. When we're trying to make changes, don't practice a little, practice big. Most golfers go wrong because they just don't practice big enough. As I said, so I'm going to now practice trying to hit that hook. I'm trying to really get that ball to move around the tree. It's a great way to work on improving your game. Let me hit it with a 6-iron. Let's not talk so much. Let's hit a couple of shots. Now, there's two things when we're trying to stop a slice. We've got to know, is it our face angle just being open? So for me as a right-hander, outright, or is it my swing path being out to in across the golf ball? And we need to work potentially a little bit on both. What I'm going to do is rely on instincts just for a minute. Can I get that ball starting right, bending left? How am I going to achieve it? And this is something, if you can get yourself to a practice area, a quiet patch on a golf course, and put yourself behind a tree, it's a great way to work on this, to get out of it. Whatever your fault might be, it might be that you're a hooker, you're overhooking it, in which case you want to work on the opposite, fading, slicing the golf ball. So just try and work on opposites. This video, as I said, is for the slicer out there, perhaps the most common. So let's do the opposite. Let's get the ball bending right to left. I'm going to aim the face where I want the ball to start, so to the right edge of the tree. And I'm going to turn my body a little bit further round to the right, so closing my body in relation to the golf club. Okay, it's not just simply turn the club in, because we want the ball to start to the right. So I need the face to aim where I want the ball to start. My body's going to be more to the right, including my shoulders. And I'm just going to get that sensation of swinging more along my feet line, really exaggerating it. So ball started way right of target and bent and finished directly behind the tree. I mean, that's absolutely perfect. On the fairway out there at 190. Good little layup to leave myself 100 yards in. Now, I could, of course, take more and more loft and go over the top of the tree. That potentially even had enough loft there myself. But I really want to get that ball curving. I want to get that ball moving. So what I've got here, and stupidly, I didn't click on what club I was using. So it's got an image of a driver head rather than the 6-iron actually hit. But I hit that ball out the screws. I was swinging in to out by 14.8 degrees. So that's more than I want. But let's exaggerate that movement. Just work on your instincts. It might take you, I know that was first shot. Might take you a lot longer than that to get there, but work on that draw, work on that hook. So I had the club face to the right, and the data will come up on the screen here for you. So where I needed the ball to start, the face is open to the target by 7.5 degrees. but close to the path by pretty much the same number, 7.5 degrees. So I actually swung more to the right than my club face was to the right, and that got that ball with that nice big high right to left, for me, draw shape. You know, or hook if you like, but I mean a hook would finish dramatically left to target. That finished on target, so it's a big draw. And that's what we want to do. Let's exaggerate movements. I'm going to hit one more. If you are someone where you start off by pushing it when you're trying to learn to draw a ball, that's absolutely fine. All that means is that the swing path and the club face are identical. So we're swinging to the right, but the face is the same amount to the right. Then we can play around a little bit with that club face position to start with, and perhaps look at that on video, but we could close the club face in just a little bit more than our path is to the right. But let's make sure the ball starts right to target first of all. Let's hit one more with a 6-iron, and then I'll do it with a driver. So club face aiming where I want it to start, which is to the right. Body parallel for that first, and then turn my body around a clock face so it's pointing more to the right than my face is. So I'm closing my stance in relation to the club face. And I'm going to swing, importantly, on my body line, because out twin slices are going this way. So this is going to teach you to get that club on a different path. And you can always add aid to that. You know, I'm aiming pretty much down this putt-out mat here, is my target line. But I want to get the sensation that my club is swinging way out right on this line. So use lines however you need to, whether you even want to drop one on the ground here and point it dramatically out to the right of the target to encourage this path if we're someone who's been suffering more with this path. So I'm aiming the face a little bit to the right, body parallel first, walk my body further round to the right of the target, and really swing on my body line. A little bit toey, not as good a strike as the last one, but definitely got the ball flight. Almost overdrew it, it's finished up in that bunker, but got the things I wanted. Started right, bent left. So it didn't actually come up with the club data on my launch monitor on that one, but it doesn't matter. We can see that ball flight on there. Clearly started right, bent left. Now this video is with any golf club, so that was a 6-iron. Let me hit one with a driver, very much the same feel. I'm not changing anything. So yeah, I wouldn't normally tee it up in the fairway on the 18th at Pebble, so please forgive me. But same recipe. Can I start that ball right? Can I bend the ball left? If I'm someone who's been suffering with that out twin swing, seeing the opposite, let's go big. Let's really get that ball moving. Once you've turned your body in, let's say we start with our body line out to the right by 30 degrees and we're hitting those big right to left shot shapes. Let's minimize it. Let's try 20 degrees, 15, 10 until we get back to a squarer setup, but we're still encouraging a slightly in to out path and just hitting a little draw. So as I said, start big, then minimize. I'm going to try and hit that big right to left shot shape to miss that tree. With this club, obviously the flight's going to be that little bit lower. So I need to really get that ball starting right, aim the face where I want it to start, body parallel, turn my body further round to the right of the target. So my body line's closed compared to my club. I probably hit there a nice little 15-yard right to left draw. So same recipe as I got with the iron there really, centered strike. I swung in to out by 10 degrees. I had the club face open by 8.8. So the face was actually slightly closed or slightly left of my swing path. My swing path was going dramatically to the right. So I got that swing path going this way more in to out. As I said, if you start by hitting pushes, so for me as a right-hander, straight right, that's not a problem. We can always minimize that face angle from there until we can actually hit more the right to left draw shape for a right-handed golfer. It's just the opposite for a lefty. It doesn't make any difference there. Start big, let's work on trying to hit a hook. How we can take that to the golf course is actually just picturing the tree. So I'd get yourself on the golf course and I'd picture that you're behind a tree and you're trying to get that ball to turn, especially in practice to start with. You may love that feel, that thought, and be able to take that to the golf course in competitive situations. And this setup on the range could really help as well, just using some alignment sticks where you're aware where the target is, but we're encouraging the swing to be in the opposite, that in to out swing path that we're really looking for. As I mentioned in the start, if you have found this useful, if you enjoy the content, hit the thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to check out all my other content. Cheers guys, we'll see you soon.